Hi, welcome to this Sphere Date, which is on the 29th of August. It's Thursday. We're just going to give our updates out for the British pound today. Going to be looking at it against the USD, also the commodity currencies, the AUD, NZD and CAD, and a lesser looked at pair, which is probably on your trading platform though, it's GBP, PLN. Now, from our perspective, just looking at a few pound pairs today, pound for us is a great risk to reward buy. Risk is relatively low against the potential reward or profit. Now, in terms of the British pound, yesterday a lot of people asked me. We obviously had in the UK, or not obviously, but in the UK, Boris Johnson, the UK PM or Prime Minister, suspended Parliament. It was all over the media as a major event in terms of Brexit. And, the pound did sell off a little bit, then immediately came off its lows and it's steady above key levels. Why did it not sell off hard? My own view is selling in the pound is just about exhausted now, and we're going to see a major rally to the upside. Yes, there's been some decent profits in the commodity currencies. GBP USD hasn't moved yet, but I think it's going to now. So let's go to the charts and discuss all this in more detail, but please do keep in mind when I'm doing my analysis, it is my view as of right now. It can of course change in line with the market conditions. If you want all our trading techniques, our daily technical sentiment analysis of 14 Forex pairs for a limited period, you can get live access to our member centre on the link beneath this video. Right, pair we're going to look at first is going to be GBP USD. Right, GBP USD first, and in terms of this pair, we have got really nothing out of it so far. 121.35 in, and we're just basically struggling to hold the 122 level. But in terms of this pair, looks a good buy on a breakout, really good risk to reward. Also, if we come down towards this 120 level again, it would be a good buy as well. In terms of this pair, I think I said it in my intro, I like the look of GBP USD as a risk to reward trade, but the other trades that we've done or going to look at, more profit, a lot more profit, and also probably more profit potential on the upside. So I know everyone likes GBP, not everyone, but majority like GBP USD. Think of doing one of the other pairs we're going to look at in a moment with it, in my view, because you will enhance your reward and I think decrease your risk by having two pairs. Anyway, right, let's have a look at the sentiment and technicals together. Point number one. Speculators held their highest number of shorts since March 2018 into the 120 level, selling on a no-deal Brexit, i.e. that the UK would crash out the EU, smart money buying heavily. See here, down to 120, test, and then we come up. It's a huge level. You can see it here. If I can find the chart. Here it is. It's the monthly chart of GBP USD. Massive fall there on the Brexit coming to be, and basically we bounce from the 120 level up to 140. Speculators selling hard, commercials buying up to 140. Got the same again. Don't think we're necessarily going to 140, but 130 is certainly on the cards in the near future in our view, and you can see but that's the level I've marked out. So yeah, big level down here. You don't need much to bring sterling up. I'm explaining this just in terms of why I don't think there's too much downside in sterling. Come up here, yeah? That is just on a minor bit of news. Yeah, because the market is so heavily positioned short sterling. UK gets 30 days from Merkel in Germany and Macron, the president in France, to present new ideas to the EU in terms of solving the backstop. It's a conciliatory gesture, nothing more, because the market is so short, we move above 122. Okay, so with the market, it's looking for prices or looking for the price to fall. You see no good news in sight. It's just a small spark that's needed, which was that to get the pound higher. Now, this is obviously the bit of news yesterday that got the media excited. Boris Johnson, UK PM, gets a suspension of the UK Parliament. And you did see sterling move down, but it's only really about a 100 pip move, and we're back above 122. We're struggling to hold the level, but no big sell-off in relation to this. If you're looking at the media, you think it was an absolute disaster in the UK. Here was a typical headline. The Queen has been dragged into Westminster's bitter Brexit battle after Boris Johnson asked her to suspend Parliament for more than a month. Just one headline, but you had, constitutional crisis in the UK, the Queen being dragged in. This is just absolute nonsense, isn't it? Anyone in the UK should know how this works. The UK Prime Minister, if he has a majority, can go to the Queen, ask for a suspension of Parliament. She doesn't even need to think about it at all. She grants it. That's it. She's a figurehead. She's nothing more. She's not involved in politics. So it's not a constitutional crisis at all. It's got nothing to do with the Queen. She just says yes, that's it. Yeah, people talk about her having a privy council. I mean, she does, but she is not going to obstruct the will of the Prime Minister with a majority. Yeah, it just isn't going to happen. It would never happen. But the media makes too much of this sort of stuff. It isn't a constitutional crisis. PM can do that. Okay, he's being a little bit underhand, you could say, because he's doing it, getting a big extension, because he doesn't want a big debate with Brexit, MPs blocking his deal. That's a different issue. Okay, that can be challenged in the courts. I think if it was challenged in the courts, that would be thrown out, basically. But it could happen. But what Johnson is doing is nothing other than I think most people expected him to do. He hinted at doing it a few weeks ago. It's not like it's news or new news. And it just sends a message to you to help try and get a deal through. Nothing has really changed, okay? The stance has not changed from the UK government and Boris Johnson. There is no constitutional crisis in the UK. You can say it's a high-risk strategy by the Tory government and Boris Johnson because it risks a no-confidence vote in election. But that's not going to be bad news for Sterling, is it? Yeah, Sterling would go up on that eventuality because people say, oh, well, the opposition will be able to prevent or delay Brexit. So my view is, the hard stance in of Boris Johnson looking to get a deal or a no deal through by the deadline. It's in the price. And Sterling is holding around the 122 level. I just don't see a lot of downside. Fresh positions come through 123. Okay, breakout, I think we go up to, certainly 128, then 130. You got, well over 4 to 1, near enough 5 to 1 risk to reward on the trade. And if we were to come down, and we've got our stop, just locking a minor loss at the moment of 15 pips if we get stopped down. If we did drift down, we'd look to buy any strength off 120. The pound is just so severely oversold, and we maintain that a deal will probably be done between the EU and the UK because neither side can afford not to do a deal. It's not a good idea. Let's put it that way. The EU want a deal, so did the UK. I think common sense will prevail. They'll have some sort of agreement. But even if they don't, 120. The no deal was literally just about priced in. So if you did get the eventuality of a no deal, the downside in sterling, you might get a knee-jerk sell-off. That's it. Not going to see any big downside from here. She's too oversold. Right, let's move to the commodity currencies. We're doing really quite nicely in those. So we're going to look at them. And we'll look at, which one should we look at first? GBP, NZD. GBP, NZD daily chart. And in terms of, British Pound USD, I think that looks a good risk to reward trade. However, two sides to every currency pair. USD has been a relatively strong currency. So if you're pound bullish, buy the pound. It's just generally oversold on a currency with weak fundamentals. Now, this is a favourite of a lot of people in the Facebook group, and I think it's a great looking trade. It's already done well, coming up from 184 to 193.51 at the time of doing this video, and you can see our profit in this one is way more than in GBP USD. It's near enough 600 pips, well, just over 600 pips, and it's going higher. You've got good support here, okay, at 192 level, and really great support at this level here. I think it's a buy for a move up to chart highs, then on to 205, then 215, so up here at the top of the screen. The fundamentals of New Zealand really weak in terms of the interest rate outlook, the economic outlook. It's getting hurt by trade wars. We've got a nervous market. It's getting hurt. GBP correcting, oversold, obviously, doing really well. And all the three commodity currencies, the GBP looks great, buy on all of them. We couldn't decide which was going to do the best when we came in, so we did all three. This one has done the best so far, but this one looks really good. The way the setup looks right now, which is GBP AUD, big blue up here, and then look at these four candles: 1, 2, 3, 4. Same highs near enough, same lows near enough. So just buy it on a breakout above 182.30. She should gravitate up to 188, then 2. AUD fundamentals are weak like New Zealand's in our view. They've got similar kind of backdrops. This one I really like the look of as a fresh trade on a breakout. I mean, these trades would be buys on dips as well, but I'm just doing it in terms of on strength at the moment. Now, I just want to get two more currencies to look at. I need to get my menu back, so let's have a look at them. It's going to be GBP CAD and GBP PLN. And here is GBP CAD. Let me make that a little bit bigger. So GBP CAD. In terms of this one, CAD is the most overbought major currency. Okay, so our view is that the GBP should really gain traction to the upside. You can see at the minute it's kind of minor profits, 100 pips, 200 pips. And the way we've done the entries, we've come in with two trades, one above 160, then we've done one above 161. And now we're traveling sideways. Breakout above these candles here. There's a triple top. It's kind of tight range. Breakout up to 175. GBP could play catch up in terms of strength against the CAD. It's moved stronger on the AUD and NZD, obviously, but looks good risk reward trade on a breakout. And here's a minor European currency, the PLN. Reason we picked this one out was basically the PLN has been just strong generally, and it's got fairly weak fundamentals in our view. So a little bit stretched, and got a reasonable entry in this one, 470.60. So it came down here, took the big blue, off she goes. Now you got very solid support at 480, and this is the big support, which would where we put our stop behind. Should go up to 505, probably going to go up to monthly resistance. So yeah, another weak currency that we bought the pound on, and it's doing quite nicely. GBP USD, I think, is going to go higher, but I know I'm stressing the point. Always look at weak currencies or weaker currencies than the USD, in my view, to buy the GBP on. So GBP for us, there'll be twists and turns along the way with Brexit, but for us, it's a buy on dips and on breakouts higher. I think, yeah, the pound's got a long way to go to the upside to correct oversold. So that's my view of the GBP day. Thank you very much for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.